Right now, Dr. Jane Goodall in Madison, what the world-renowned conservationist said to a sold-out crowd.
Plus, severe weather emergency for parts of the South, how cleanup and recovery efforts continue under a state of emergency.
And after our snow over the weekend, it is a chilly start to our Monday. We'll take a look at another system that may produce a little snow later this week coming up.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now this morning on this Monday. I'm Shane Hogan.
I'm Chris Stanford, Kelly Slifka, and with your first warrant forecast. Josh Spreiter on vacation all week.
Yes, he is.
He's just taking some time off because, you know, Leah's coming back.
Yeah.
He's like, I need to rest
recharge.
up. I need to recharge before the boss comes back and starts dropping the hammer on everybody.
And I'll get to meet her finally.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Kelly Slifka's been here for 3 months now.
3 months, yeah.
And our producer Cody has barely worked with her at all.
I know. Leah's taken some much-deserved time off. Coming up, you're going to get to see Leah as we talk to her about what motherhood is like, about how she feels about coming back to work, and the best part, we get to see baby Zeke.
The best part.
The smile is awesome.
Yeah, it's something. Hey, I can't believe that we're still talking about snow here this last week of March, Kelly.
I know, you know, it just is this ongoing broken record. You know, basically since February, it seemed like we get 2 systems per week, and that's what we're looking at this week. It looks like, though, toward the end of the week, the system that's coming in is going to be a warmer system, so that'll be mainly rain and maybe even some thunder. But with the snow that we got over the weekend, you got all that fresh snow on the ground, the clear skies, light winds. We're down to 20 in Madison, 27 in Janesville, Watertown, right now at 21, 27 currently in the Dells. So dry today. We will expect some sunshine today and tomorrow. So kind of a calm before the storm moves in on Wednesday. This is a weak one, but we'll produce some light snow as it moves through very quickly Wednesday morning. A larger storm system comes in. This was coming in from California. You know what those do, bring a lot of moisture with it, but it looks like we're going to be on the warm side of it, so mainly rain. Can't even rule out some spring-like thunderstorms. Today, some sun as we warm through the 30s by the noon hour. Should be tapping out low to mid-40s as we go into the afternoon. So we're looking at 44 today with partly sunny skies, still below average. We'll talk more about that Wednesday snowmaker coming up.
Thanks, Kelly.
And the main thing I want to say is that first, I was born loving animals. People say, where did your love of animals start? Well, I don't know. I was born that way.
World-renowned ethologist and conservationist Jane Goodall presenting a 90-minute lecture at UW Memorial Union last night in front of a sold-out crowd. You probably know of Goodall, who turns 89 next Monday, for her groundbreaking studies of wild chimpanzees, changing the way that we as humans understand our relationship with the rest of the animal kingdom.
Yeah, that's right. Goodall opened her speech last night, though, talking about how it felt to hear herself introduced and how even she is surprised by where her career has taken her.
And people start talking about all the things I've done, and crowds come to hear me speak. And for me, it's really difficult to reconcile that Jane, who seems to have become an icon through no choosing of my own, and the Jane that's standing here, just me. So there are these 2 Janes, and I have to work very hard to keep up with that icon that people come to hear. So as long as you know that I'm just me, that's fine. So it's not the icon who's talking to you, it's me, okay?
Those tickets to see her just flew.
Yeah, good sense of humor, too.
Yeah. Remember, we told you that you could get tickets right here on News 10 this morning. They sold out.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, they sold out very quick. Goodall, also the founder of the Jane Goodall Institute, a wildlife nonprofit conservation organization with offices in more than 20 countries. Her appearance on campus was part of the university's Distinguished Lecture Series.
While happening today, all you Culver's fans get excited. A new location in Oregon is celebrating its grand opening. It's the same location that featured the famous Little Culver's, if you remember that, Chris. We talked about it here on the show back you know, in the past when it was really popular. It showcased a drive-through of over 1,000 toys. Well, today's ribbon cutting will honor the Little Culvers in the dining room. This is the latest restaurant of over 900 locations. And the big news here, the co-founder, Mr. Craig Culver himself, will be at today's ceremony.
6:04 in more local news this morning. One man under arrest after he's accused of leading Monona police on a chase and then crashing on the Beltline. Officers report They tried to stop the 26-year-old Madison man on West Broadway as part of a drug investigation. That man then led police on a chase, lost control of his car when trying to use the exit ramp at John Nolan and the Beltline. After that crash, he tried to get away by climbing over the chain link fence, but officers caught him. Police said the man was in possession of cocaine and oxycodone. He is currently being held in the Dane County Jail.
Parts of the South are under a state of emergency this morning as tornadoes ripped through Mississippi, Alabama, and now Georgia. Cleanup will continue in Georgia today. Large hail and flash flooding also swept through parts of the state. The deadliest storms over the weekend hit the Mississippi Delta, killing at least 25 people and injuring dozens more. While surveying what's now left of his home, a Rolling Fork, Mississippi City Council member described what it felt like inside the roar of the storm.
I was able to grab the top of the tub and pull it down over my head so the rain and the lightning wouldn't strike me. And 5 minutes later, it was over.
FEMA says the storm destroyed or damaged more than 2,000 homes in Rolling Fork. President Biden has approved a disaster declaration authorizing federal funding for some of the state's hardest hit counties.
Failed Silicon Valley Bank now in the hands of First Citizens Bank and Trust, based in North Carolina. That bank has purchased SVB's deposits and loans. SVB's branches will reopen under the First Citizens Bank name this morning. SVB was the nation's 16th largest bank when it failed on March 10th.
We are learning more about what the new Wisconsin Historical Society will look like in a few years after moving into a new space. The 5-story building will be on the same site of the city's old building on Capitol Square, but the new construction will bring additional space that is much needed as the Historical Society works to show off more of its expansive collection.
We have one of the world-class collections of North American history. It's only second in the Library of Congress. So we're going to tell the story of Wisconsin in the context of the United States.
There are still some hurdles to get through, though. The old center needs to be deconstructed, and the Historical Society is still raising funds to cover operating costs. The new center is set to open in 2026, but until then, visitors can find the Historical Society at a temporary space in the main level of the U.S. Bank Plaza at 1 South Pinckney Street. Well, it looks like we do indeed finally have a winner in our News 3 Now Bracket Challenge. Even though the tournament is not over, everyone's bracket was so severely busted that there are no more points to be had in our bracket challenge. So this is how it has officially ended. Sports director Zach Hanley just edging us out on the morning team. He ended with 49. Chris and Josh officially at 48, even though I made almost all of their picks. They don't want to know that, though. There's our bracket. A lot of red. But how cool is this, Chris? Of the Final Four teams, 3 of them have never been to the Final Four in their program history, featuring teams like Miami, San Diego State, Florida Atlantic, and then UConn, who has won a few national championships. So it's been a crazy tournament, March Madness indeed, and the Final Four tips off on Saturday in Houston. Zach deserves some congratulations, I suppose, even though he works in sports.
It's kind of his job, right? The sports director to watch these games.
We were close. We were really close.
All right. I'll take second place.
Yeah, that's
day.
right.
All right, News 3 Now and SSM Health are kicking off a new year of our Time for Kids segment. And to celebrate, we have a new contest that opens up today, and it's all about Earth Day. We want to hear from schools and classrooms about what you're doing to celebrate or protect our Earth. Maybe you have a new community garden or a new recycling program. Just go to channel3000.com/timeforkids and tell us all about it. You have until April 17th, and when it's all over, we'll pick a winner and then come out to your school and plant a tree.
Coming up this morning, we are catching up with our colleague and dear friend, Miss Leah Linsheid, and her adorable new baby.
Ahead in sports, head coach Luke Fickell, what he's saying after the Badgers hit the practice turf for the first time this year. We'll be right back.
Why are there 2 extra seats? I know. Uncle Dane and his giant beard.
The Volkswagen Atlas with best-in-class third-row legroom. Visit your local Volkswagen dealer for 4.9% APR financing for 72 months on a new 2023 Atlas or Atlas Cross Sport.
There were severe health complications with my baby when I was pregnant. We made the decision to have an abortion so our daughter wouldn't suffer. Dan Kelly doesn't believe that women should even have that freedom. On the Supreme Court, Dan Kelly will uphold the criminal ban on abortion. Someone you love might struggle with a pregnancy like I did. And that's why we can't have an extremist like Dan Kelly on the Supreme Court.
Milk with your cereal with Fairlife. It's more like cereal with your ultra-filtered milk with a creamy taste plus 50% more protein, 50% less sugar. Turn nutrition into nutrition. Fairlife ultra-filtered milk.
Well, I'll have another. Make it a double.
Dad, Mom thinks she's at a resort again.
Yeah, she told me.
When you'd rather not resort to a virtual resort,
This is much better in real life.
it matters where you stay.
Looking good, babe.
Hilton for the stay.
To everyone who believes in tradition, come enjoy a few of ours from Wisconsin.
People in Wisconsin love a good fish fry.
Really love. And we love sharing it with guests everywhere.
At Culver's, we still batter our North Atlantic cod by hand to order.
And we cook it to a crispy, golden perfection just for you.
For you.
For you. So it's crispy outside, flaky inside. Let us take care of you.
With some homegrown traditions we were raised on.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Lake Ridge may be a new name, but it isn't a new bank. It's one built on over a century of community commitment. One equipped with all the knowledge and resources of 145 collective years of experience. Monona Bank and State Bank of Cross Plains are coming together as one. As Lake Ridge Bank, we're doing more together for you.
We're doing everything we can to reduce our carbon footprint.
We are 100% employee-owned.
We are Barnes.
We know that a healthy green lawn is top of mind this time of year. Go with the Barnes 4-Step Lawn Care Program by scheduling a free consult with a licensed lawn care professional. Welcome to Barnesville. From planting to tree and shrub pruning, seeding to sodding, mowing to mulching, and everything in between. Discover the Barnes difference. Get started at barnesinc.net.
Extra seats. I know, Uncle Dane and his giant beard.
The Volkswagen Atlas with best-in-class third-row legroom. Visit your local Volkswagen dealer for 4.9% APR financing for 72 months on a new 2023 Atlas or Atlas Cross Sport.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
Welcome back. It is 6:12. We are officially 1 week away from the very special return of our friend and morning anchor, Leah Linsheid. She has been on maternity leave since before Christmas.
Leah stopped by the studio last week to talk about coming back and wanted to introduce us to the newest member of the News 3 Now This Morning family.
Well, look who's here. It's been so long. Leah, welcome back.
Did you guys forget about me?
What's your name again?
I know. I walked into the studio and Josh goes, "Who's that?"
How is baby Zeke doing?
This is News 3 Now's newest member.
Look at that smile.
Oh, hi, Smiler.
Already
Baby
made
Zeke.
for
Hi,
TV.
Smiler.
Let's see, he is about 3 months old now.
He
He's
is.
Almost.
He is just about 5 days away from
look at
being
that
12
smile.
weeks.
It's great.
Yeah, he's been great. We finally got him to sleep first time through the night last night.
Hey,
Oh my God.
congratulations.
It was a big
That's
deal.
big
We woke up
milestone.
at 6:30, him screaming, and I was like, "It's 6:30 in the morning. This is great."
That means it's time for you to come back to work.
Okay, so I don't want to say that I don't love being at home with my baby. I do. He's been wonderful. What a life-changing experience. But I miss you guys. And
We miss you.
Adult interaction would be nice.
What's it like? What's it like? Tell us about motherhood and what it's done for you. And
Dad of 4 wants to know what it's like.
But it's different for everybody, you know?
It is.
So What about you and Zach? How is it?
It's been great. It's been harder in some ways than I expected and easier in some ways than I expected. But I would say the biggest thing is it's changed. Everybody says it changes your perspective, right? Well, you always tell me I'm going a million miles an hour and I'm doing 3 things at once. I don't do that anymore. I'm more present. I'm slower. I'm a much slower person.
Something. Wow.
Yeah, it's been great.
What has been your favorite part so far?
I really liked the midnight feedings at first, before I got too tired. I handled it better because we're used to waking up early. Zach had a bit of a tough time with it, but it's nice to spend some alone time with him in his little rocker.
It's special.
Yeah, it really is.
It's the stuff that I look back on now and be like, yeah, sure, in the moment, like you might not, you know, nobody likes getting up in the middle of the night, but looking back on that, it's like those are times that you do end up cherishing when they get a little bit older.
When you hear him start to squeak at 2 a.m., it's like, oh my gosh. But then you do it, and it's such a bonding moment that I'll never have again.
Tell us about his personality. What's he like?
Hi, buddy.
Who's he take after?
Ooh, that's a good question. Well, he's always hungry, so me. He's not very patient, so also me. Everybody says he looks like Zach.
That hair, though.
He has so much hair. They say you have bad heartburn when you're pregnant if he has a lot of hair, and I did have bad heartburn. But it is, can you kind of tell?
I love it.
It's getting lighter, I think.
It is, yeah. It was much darker whenever I saw him the first couple of times.
Yeah.
Oh, look at him, look at you.
Hi, Bubba. So I think he's going to be a blondie.
Can't believe how big he's getting, too.
He's huge. Like, this was a toddler baby. Are you a toddler?
Oh, my gosh, just you wait.
Made for TV.
I know.
I've still got back problems from lugging my kids around.
I took a walk with him strapped to my chest the other day. I've never been so winded. It's brutal, little pudgy.
Well, we're so excited for you to come back.
Thank you.
You'll be back on the 3rd.
Yes.
That Monday, back full-time to work.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Oh, man.
Back to the routine. You ready for that 2 a.m. alarm? It's going to be the alarm instead of the baby. Well, maybe both, but...
It'll be both. I think it'll be both.
Well, we're here for you, and we can't wait to see you.
Thanks,
guys.
Can't
wait, Leah. Congratulations again.
Thank you. I can't wait to come back.
Already made for TV. Look at that.
It's going to be great to have Leah back, and gosh, baby Zeke is just the cutest little guy.
Great baby. I can't believe. I'm jealous. I should say that the baby's already sleeping through the night.
I know, that's incredible. I know.
Took my kids forever.
Leah and Zach were pretty excited about that. But yeah, next Monday, we are excited to have Leah back here out on the desk.
6:16, now let's check in with Kelly Slifka on your first warn forecast. Just got 3 things to know today.
Yeah, you know, we had the snow over the weekend. In fact, a foot of snow, and thankfully we're getting a break. Yesterday was quiet. Today, tomorrow is going to be dry as well, with some sun expected today and tomorrow. It is going to remain colder than average because of some of that fresh snow on the ground, even with that sunshine. We do have a bout of some snow, and yes, we could be seeing some minor accumulation. This will be a much weaker system than what we had over the weekend, obviously, but some light snow expected Wednesday morning. A stronger storm system coming in from the west coast. We're going to be on the warm side of it, so it's going to be windy. Winds coming in out of the south, bringing us some rain and maybe even some thunderstorms as we round out the month of March. Finally, it seems like been very active, obviously. We're starting off chilly this morning with temperatures in the 20s. The winds are out of the northeast, so we're not going to really warm up a whole lot this afternoon with that snow on the ground, even with the sun basically just going into melting that snow. Right now, we're at 20 in Madison, 24 in Watertown, Janesville 27, the Dells 25, Lone Rock at 24. Across Dane County, we've had some teens already showing up this morning. Look at Middleton, down to 17, 29 in Cottage Grove and also Stoughton. The winds are light, and that's why some of these locations quite a bit colder. We'll have that northerly wind, sunshine this morning, a few clouds starting to roll in as we get in the afternoon hours, but I think we'll be below 40 until we get in the mid to late afternoon hours. So it's going to remain cooler than our average for this time of March. We are watching that system coming in Wednesday. This is going to be moving in very quickly on the northwest jet stream coming in out of Canada. There's just some light snow expected, but it's right in time for the rush hour. It looks like Wednesday morning with some minor accumulation with that, and that should be out of here by the late morning hours. So our first warn forecast, 44 today, 46 tomorrow. Our average high is a little bit closer to 50. A chilly day Wednesday with that snow in the morning. Then comes some warmer weather with a chance of some rain Thursday, maybe some thunderstorms on Friday, and some of that may mix with a little bit of snow as we start April on Saturday.
Wisconsin softball spent the weekend in East Lansing opening up conference play against Michigan State. After splitting the doubleheader on Friday, the Badgers were more than ready to get back in the win column Sunday afternoon. Spartans up by a run in the 5th, and that's when Katie Keller changes the momentum of this game. With a runner on, she crushes this ball to deep center. Yeah, see you later. 2-run shot gives the Badgers the lead, and that really sparks the offense. The Badgers played 6 more runs to win it 9-3, win the series. Now it's time to come back to Madison. UW's home opener is set for tomorrow at 3. They'll host Green Bay for a doubleheader. Aside from the weather, day 1 of spring practice couldn't have gone any better for the Badgers. They got 2 hours and 15 minutes of work done in 2 hours and 12 minutes. Plus, Luke Fickell liked the discipline, energy, and attitude his team displayed during their first outing. But really, that's been the case since he got here. With all the new being thrown at this program over the last 3.5 months, Fickell is still impressed with how his group is approaching everything.
We all know as you get further along, winning cures a lot of things and helps you buy into a lot of things. But I can honestly tell you that these guys have kind of open arms, had a great attitude about, from the way we train, which is a little bit different. The way that we, even go about some of the off-season stuff is a lot different too. And what I've been as impressed with as anything in the last 3.5 months of being here is just the attitude, the openness to what these guys have done for us and what we brought in.
Checking in with Johnny Davis, the former Badger, scored a season-high 15 points with 4 rebounds and 2 assists against Toronto last night. Jay Davis comes in clutch from the corner, and that triple cuts the Wizards' deficit to 3, but the Raptors go on to win it by 10. Monona Grove alum McKenna Warnock and the Iowa Hawkeyes are just 1 win away from the Final Four. Got to get past Louisville first. The Cards open up on an 8-0 run, then Iowa gets going. Caitlin Clark finds Warnock. She finds the bottom of the net for 3. Same duo, this time a Warnock with the easy layup, and it's a 1-point game. Then Clark takes over. She drops 41 points, making tournament history with the first 40-point triple-double. Warnock adds 17 with 5 boards as Iowa punches its ticket to the Final Four. Back to you.
Up next, the winner of this year's Mark Twain Award for American Humor.
We're back after this.
Watch News 3 Now at 6 with Eric, Charlotte, Gary, and Zach. Weeknights.
Cobison Buses, now hiring.
My name's Mike Williams. I've been driving school bus off and on for 21 years. Here at our terminal, we're kind of like a family too. Somebody has an issue with a bus, other people kick in and help and get the job done.
Brothers Maine has been family-owned since 1938. Some of us were born into this family, and others chose to join through the years. We know you can't replace family, but you can replace appliances, and Brothers Maine is here for you when one breaks down. Our in-house team has delivered ranges to washers to refrigerators to hectic households in a pinch, oftentimes the next day. Just because an appliance breaks down doesn't mean you have to. We're not big box, we're Brothers Maine, and we want you to feel like family here.
On abortion rights, do you want extremist Dan Kelly holding the gavel? Kelly wants abortion banned even in cases of rape, incest, and the health of the mother. He'll uphold the 1849 criminal abortion law that allows doctors and nurses to be jailed for performing abortions. And he'll strip women of their freedom to make their own decision on abortion. So don't give Dan Kelly a gavel with your vote. He's just too extreme.
Right now at Planet Fitness, you can get that big fitness energy for just $1 down, $10 a month. No commitment, cancel anytime. It's a great deal, and our 17 million members agree.
You can say that again.
Okay, as I said, you can join for just $1 down, $10 a month.
What a deal!
So turn your low energy into big fitness energy and enjoy tons of equipment and a clean and spacious judgment-free zone to get that post-workout glow. So get going, or shall I say glowing? Join for just $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, April 5th.
Oh, everybody, let's eat naturally. Natural recipes, great taste is guaranteed.
Natural recipes. Beneful. Eat happy. Try new Incredibites. Just for small dogs.
This is how legends are made.
Chevy Silverado and new Silverado HD. Choose your own path with the #1 best-selling retail full-size pickup and see where it takes you. Find new roads. It's Chevy truck season. Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all Silverado 1500 pickups. And current Chevy owners get $2,500 cash allowance on this Silverado with a turbo high output engine. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
And now please welcome Anna Montoya.
A man brutally attacked and sexually assaulted a woman. The victim spent endless nights unable to sleep, plagued by nightmares. Judge Janet Protasewicz called the offender many females' worst nightmare, but she cut his sentence to only 2.5 years in prison. Judge Janet's dangerous judgment puts our families at risk. That's why sheriffs throughout Wisconsin support Dan Kelly. He's the only candidate we can trust to keep violent felons off our streets. On April 4th, vote Justice Dan Kelly. Fair Courts America is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Cobison Buses, now hiring.
Working with Cobison, it's definitely been great because of the flexibility. If you do need time off, they work around you. They definitely try to make it a company that's based for you.
Visit Cobison.com to apply.
So Adam Sandler is known for all of his big blockbuster movies. He has raked it in at the box office over the last 30 years or so, grossing over $2 billion, but we don't see him get awards.
Yeah,
really,
I mean, you know,
right?
a lot of comedians don't get that notary like at the Oscars and stuff like that. But obviously, everyone knows Adam Sandler. He's a household name. Obviously, his days at SNL, he's one of the funniest people alive.
Oh, look at this. He just received the Mark Twain Award for American Humor. Past recipients have included Steve Martin, Betty White, and
Whoopi
a long list of
Goldberg,
others. Whoopi Goldberg.
Tina Fey. Yeah, a lot. This is the highest honor in comedy. So congratulations to the Sandman, they call him.
Do you remember his MTV days way back in the late 80s, early 90s?
Yeah. What was that called? Remote Control?
Remote Control, yeah.
Yeah, he had some random side character on Remote Control.
You guys are going to have to explain
Colin
that
Quinn.
to me at some point.
Well,
I don't think it's explainable, is it?
All right, Tay, we have a lot to talk about in the forecast coming up as that active weather pattern continues. We'll get into it next on News 3 Now this morning.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
My experience going to Ortho Teen was a 10. It was phenomenal. My life now, after having the conformist knee, I have no pain. I'm walking, I'm driving. I can go to work. I feel like I could be in my 20s again.
Superior, Wisconsin. Come for the shopping. Stay for the fun. Excuse me, do you have this in a different color? Teal, maybe?
Hey, Fitchburg, who are you voting for mayor?
Randy Udell understands how to balance growth and protect our farmland.
Randy is fiscally responsible, and he is a great listener. Randy is the inclusive, collaborative leader Fitchburg needs.
Randy Udell's earned my endorsement and the support of first responders. He'll make Fitchburg safer and more welcoming for everyone.
Hi, I'm Randy Udell. Let's move Fitchburg forward together. I ask for your vote on April 4th.
You've got this. Your big moment on their big day. The dress? Another one you'll never wear. Gift? Practical. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with free overdraft protection transfers. So when you get invited to your third destination wedding in as many months, we'll be there with you.
When we first met Todd, we thought Jen was kidding.
You've got this with Associated Bank.
This is how legends are made.
Chevy Silverado and new Silverado HD. Choose your own path with the #1 best-selling retail full-size pickup and see where it takes you. Find new roads. It's Chevy truck season. Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all Silverado 1500 pickups. And current Chevy owners get $2,500 cash allowance on this Silverado with a turbo high output engine. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Create your perfect room for entertaining, relaxing, and more with patio enclosures. Right now, get 25% off your sunroom. Plus, enjoy exceptional financing. Call today.
Patio enclosures.
There are so many things we take for granted. So many things. And along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for their survival for granted too. The elderly, disabled, the veterans, people on limited and fixed incomes, or folks that lost jobs in sectors hardest hit during the pandemic. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living? Some people just can't come back. And through no fault of their own, they're being left behind, struggling to keep their heat, water, and power on. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our heat, water, and power providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
My experience going to ortho teen was a 10. It was phenomenal. My life now, after having the conformist knee, I have no pain. I'm walking, I'm driving. I can go to work. I feel like I could be in my 20s again.
Right now, former President Donald Trump on the campaign trail and under fire. We look at the intimidation claims directed at the prosecutor with the power to charge him.
Also, campaign 2023 state Supreme Court candidates have about a week to go. Their strategies before the April 4th election.
And it is a cold start to our morning. Temperatures in the 20s. Quiet for now, but we're talking about more snow this week.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now this morning. On this Monday, I'm Shane Hogan.
I'm Chris Stanford. Kelly Slivka's got your first warm forecast. Yeah, it is kind of chilly out there today.
Yeah, with the snow on the ground, obviously, and the clear skies, calm winds, that radiation just goes right out into space. Even though the sun is coming up now, we're still sitting at 20 currently in Madison. Temperatures in the 20s area-wide. We've got that snow on the ground. We're going to be rising into the lower 40s, still running below our average for this time of the year. But we are looking at some sunshine today and tomorrow. We're going to try to melt some of that snow, but then we're going to add to it, it looks like, come Wednesday. This will be a very fast-moving system that comes in. Just a little bit of snow expected, under an inch. A stronger storm system comes in from the Pacific. This will have more moisture with it, but we'll be on the warm side of it. So we are expecting mainly rain and can't rule out a thunderstorm. Today, looking at sunshine this morning. Into the afternoon, you might start to see some cloud cover roll in as we head in the low, maybe the mid-40s for some where they don't really have the snow on the ground. So traveling around, you'll just need the sunglasses today with partly cloudy skies. Temperatures headed into the low 40s. We'll have more on that Wednesday snowmaker coming up.
Thanks, Kelly. Folks, you can stay on top of those changing conditions by downloading the First Warn Weather app. Just search WISC Weather in your app store.
A new investigation found 95 people who were ineligible to vote still cast their ballots in the 2020 election. Over 20,000 people in Wisconsin have been deemed ineligible to vote under the status of being adjudicated incompetent. In other words, a judge deemed they were unable to vote due to mental incapacitation. Officials say this is to help protect people from having someone else fill out their ballot. Unlike other states, Wisconsin does not have an election system designed for tracking those who are deemed mentally incompetent. There were not enough ineligible votes found to change any election outcome, though, but lawmakers say they are working on a better tracking system.
And speaking of the election, a reminder that you can vote absentee right now, but if you've received an absentee ballot, you are encouraged to put it in the mail today because it could take up to a week to get to your polling place, and if they don't get it in time, it's not going to count. Let's take a look at some of the numbers that we've seen for absentee voting so far in the city of Madison. Look at that, 30,000 absentee ballots have been issued. Of those, just about 15,000 absentee ballots have been returned. There's also in-person absentee going on right now. City of Madison says that just about 6,000 people have voted in-person absentee. If you want to vote early this week, you can visit cityofmadison.com to find your polling location. And those two mayoral candidates in the upcoming April election will face each other tonight in a debate. Incumbent Mayor Santi Rhodes Conway and the challenger, Gloria Reyes, they will debate. Right here on News 3 Now, you can watch it. We are partnering up with the Cap Times. You can stream it tonight at 7 o'clock on channel3000.com. Then we will re-air it at 4 o'clock tomorrow. Eric Franke and our Amy Coles will be on the panel of moderators.
Well, we are just 8 days away from the spring election, and Wisconsin Supreme Court Justice candidate Janet Protasewicz Still campaigning, her latest stop coming in La Crosse. The Milwaukee judge stopped by the La Crosse Democratic Party's office to launch canvassing efforts in that area. According to Protasewicz, canvassers play an important role on the campaign trail.
They work very, very hard to talk to people about potential issues that might come in front of the Supreme Court. But we also work very hard to make sure we get our messaging out to people, TV and radio and digital, and myself as well, going absolutely everywhere I can.
Our colleagues in La Crosse reached out to Protasewicz's opponent, Justice Dan Kelly, for comment. In a statement, a campaign rep said, in part, quote, "If someone approaches you about voting for Janet Protasewicz, ask why her personal values and politics should guide Supreme Court decisions rather than the Constitution. And then say you support the rule of law, not the rule of Janet. A vote for Justice Daniel Kelly is a vote for the rule of law and our Constitution." Again, this is coming from a Kelly campaign representative.
We're taking a live look at New York City this morning and following up on an envelope that had an unknown white powder inside, along with a note reading, "I'll kill you." Well, new information this morning, and that note has been deemed harmless by the NYPD Emergency Service Unit. The Manhattan District Attorney is receiving an increased level of threats after former President Donald Trump threatened on his social media platform death and destruction should he be arrested. Meantime, Trump on the campaign trail, kicking off over the weekend in Waco, Texas. He's now doubling down on saying that New York's investigation into his alleged mismanagement of funds for hush money is a fake investigation, and said the cases against him are all about election interference. Some Republican lawmakers believe a case like this shouldn't be in the hands of the states.
He's investigating a presidential candidate, not to mention former president of the United States. That has no business being litigated in a local district attorney's office.
Congressman James Comer, as well as other Republican leaders, are calling for this case to be handled by the Department of Justice at the federal level, as there has never been an arrest of a current or former president. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg says it's not appropriate for Congress to interfere and that he would follow the facts.
6:36, an update this morning on where 4 teens stole a car and crashed it into a tree on Madison's west side. The teenagers between the ages of 14 and 17 were arrested on Thursday. Officers say they responded to a suspicious vehicle in an apartment lot near Elver Park on Gammon Lane. The vehicle then left the apartment complex and crashed into a tree on Moraine View Drive just a few blocks away. Officers recovered a loaded gun and say the car was stolen from Cross Plains earlier in the week. All 4 teens face a variety of charges.
Well, if you thought the Northern Lights were something to see here in Wisconsin last week, wait until you see this. The magnetic field protecting the Earth, pointed north, and then the field from the sun pointed south. You get an interaction that gives us a show of colors. However, experts say the lights are still in many ways random. Our recent Northern Light experience was due to an 11-year cycle of the sun or dark areas with high magnetic fields on the sun. And with the current sunspot cycle, we could see the Northern Lights more over the next few years.
Yeah, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I've never seen them in person. Obviously, we saw a lot of great pictures from our viewers last week, but hopefully if we're getting the idea that we're going to see them more often, I'm going to keep my eye out.
I don't know if we're going to show it again, but we showed some video from Alaska.
Oh, that was
from
stunning,
this Northern Lights display. That's what I thought we were going to there. Mother Nature giving us a fantastic display in the sky with all those colors.
Very cool indeed. Well, watch this. The first ever winter color guard competition was held in La Crosse over the weekend, where students came from all over to showcase their skills with flags, batons, and rifles. Winter Guard is different from Color Guard because it is usually performed inside a gym with pre-recorded music instead of a band and outside.
News 3 Now and SSM Health are kicking off a new year of our Time for Kids segment. And to celebrate, we have a new contest that opens up today that's all about Earth Day. We want to hear from schools and classrooms about what you're doing to celebrate or protect our planet. Maybe you have a new community garden or a new recycling program. Go to channel3000.com/timeforkids and tell us all about it. You have until April 17th, then we'll pick a winner and come plant a tree at your school. 6:38. It is a chilly start to your work week. We have an active weather pattern that continues. Kelly Slifka is going to track it all in his first warn forecast.
And when we come back, protests over child labor laws in America. A new bill getting a lot of attention. Why lawmakers say the opposition is rushing to judgment. We're back after this.
Get Table Makers chicken breasts for just $1.59 a pound, Monday only at Hy-Vee. Your daily deal for Monday is Table Makers chicken breasts for just $1.59 a pound when you buy a 2.5-pound bag, only at Hy-Vee.
There were severe health complications with my baby when I was pregnant. We made the decision to have an abortion so our daughter wouldn't suffer. Dan Kelly doesn't believe that women should even have that freedom. On the Supreme Court, Dan Kelly will uphold the criminal ban on abortion. Someone you love might struggle with a pregnancy like I did. And that's why we can't have an extremist like Dan Kelly on the Supreme Court.
Hit the ground running in the most adventurous Honda vehicles yet. Like the Pilot and Passport Trail Sport, or the Ridgeline, made more rugged with better off-road performance, and more capable with different driving modes available to conquer snow, mud, and sand. Adventure on in a Honda for you. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Your roofing and siding have taken a beating this winter, but good news. It's Feldco season.
Feldco season. It means 40% off roofing and siding with no money down, no payments, and no interest until 2024, so you can upgrade those weather-worn eyesores without breaking the bank. It also means fast, so your home will look its best for the warmer weather ahead. It's the season of home renewal. It's Feldco season. 40% off ends Friday.
Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
We're doing everything we can to reduce our carbon footprint.
We are 100% employee owned.
We are Barnes.
We know that a healthy green lawn is top of mind this time of year. Go with the Barnes 4-Step Lawn Care Program by scheduling a free consult with a licensed lawn care professional. Welcome to Barnesville. From planting to tree and shrub pruning, seeding to sodding, mowing to mulching, and everything in between. Discover the Barnes difference. Get started at barnesinc.net.
Hey, Fitchburg, who are you voting for mayor?
Randy Udell understands how to balance growth and protect our farmland.
Randy is fiscally responsible, and he is a great listener. Randy is the inclusive, collaborative leader Fitchburg needs.
Randy Udell's earned my endorsement and the support of first responders. He'll make Fitchburg safer and more welcoming for everyone.
Hi, I'm Randy Udell. Let's move Fitchburg forward together. I ask for your vote on April 4th.
Get Table Makers chicken breasts for just $1.59 a pound, Monday only at Hy-Vee. Your daily deal for Monday is Table Makers chicken breasts for just $1.59 a pound when you buy a 2.5-pound bag, only at Hy-Vee.
The candidates for Madison mayor face off. News 3 Now, channel3000.com, and the Cap Times present a debate between Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway and challenger Gloria Reyes.
Watch live streaming Monday at 7 p.m., replayed Tuesday at 4 on News 3 Now. For over 2 years, a Sauk County woman paid monthly for a home warranty plan. But after several repair claims, no money reimbursed.
You just get kind of put off.
Tahlil Mohildin shows you what happened after this disgruntled customer made a call for action. Thursday at 6. You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
Iowa recently introduced a bill that would allow 14-year-olds to work hazardous jobs such as mining, meatpacking, and logging. Parents and lawmakers are protesting in hopes of protecting children from dangerous conditions. Marcus McIntosh reports.
Our kids are not for sale. Our kids are not for sale.
Strong words from Al Womble, political director for the Iowa AFL-CIO. His focus Saturday morning are bills working their way through both the House and Senate. Bills, he says, weaken child labor laws and endanger our children.
Well, these children are going to be working in things like, meat packing plants and mining, and having 16-year-olds work at bars and restaurants serving alcohol.
A coalition of community and labor leaders came together with one goal in mind.
We're hoping to raise awareness about that, and we hope that other people say that, you know what, This is inappropriate, and it's not what's best for Iowa children.
State Representative Dave Dio manages the bill in the House. He says not so fast.
I'm a little perplexed at some of the arguments.
He says those in opposition likely rushed to judgment without fully reading the bill, saying the current bill updates child labor laws in Iowa that are outdated, some concerning street occupations with kids shining shoes and selling newspapers on street corners.
A lot of the sections of this part of the code were written beginning in 1906, I believe, and some of it was written in the 30s.
Representative Dio says the House file does not allow teens to make drinks, but they will be able to serve them.
We're working on an amendment right now to make it clear that it would be only for in a restaurant. They can bring the drinks from the bar to the tables.
As for working in meatpacking plants, he says it allows teens to work in an office, not the production floor.
There are restrictions in the current law, and those restrictions are still the same in dangerous occupations.
The bottom line is Representative Dio is hopeful with a Republican majority in the House, this bill will be on the governor's desk for her signature this session. In Des Moines, Marcus McIntosh, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader.
Arkansas recently introduced a bill that says children under the age of 16 do not need the Division of Labor's permission to be employed. More and more states are rolling back child labor restrictions, despite a tripling of reports of minors employed in violation of child labor laws.
All right, it's 6:45. Let's check in with Kelly Slipka and your first warm weather. Good morning, Kelly.
Yeah, the last week of March, I think most of us could say good riddance, right? Because we have really been getting snow this month. Of course, we got almost half of that on Saturday when we got a foot of snow, but we've had 25 inches. Typically, to this point into March, we should have just over 6 inches. And look for the season. Going back to last November, we've had 70 inches of snow. Our average is just over 48. So we may be accumulating a little bit more snow as we go throughout this work week. Still looking at an active weather pattern. We're in the lull for now. Right now, we just have quiet conditions. The sun coming up. It is a chilly start to the morning, but we are expecting some sunshine today and tomorrow. We'll be dry for now. Our next system comes in Wednesday. This is a weak system coming in from the northwest. Expecting some lighter snow showers, mainly Wednesday morning. A larger storm system arrives by the end of the week. Thursday and Friday, we're looking at some showers and maybe even some thunderstorms rolling in as we close out the month of March. So it's going to remain active this week, but it looks like we're kind of changing the calendar here as far as the weather is concerned, more toward a wet weather pattern as opposed to some snow. Right now, we're at 20 in Madison, 26 in Watertown, Janesville 27, Lone Rock 24. So a chilly start to our morning. 14 in Middleton, so you can see some of the isolated locations dropping in the teens. Most locations, though, hanging in the lower 20s across Dane County. So we'll be chilly this morning. We've got a northerly wind. Sunshine, though, throughout the morning hours. This afternoon, as we get into the mid-afternoon hours, may see a few clouds starting to roll on in. I think we'll top out in the lower half of the 40s by the afternoon hours. Here's our Wednesday system coming in from the northwest. You can see Tuesday night across northern Wisconsin by Wednesday morning, maybe affecting the morning commute, though, with some lighter snow. That should be moving out fairly quickly. This will be a drier snow, not as sloppy as the one we saw Saturday. So your first warm forecast, sunshine today and tomorrow. There's that chance of some snow and rather chilly Wednesday. And then we warm up a little bit. Winds pick up as that storm system moves in. We're looking at some wet weather, maybe some thunderstorms Friday. Some of that may mix with a little bit of snow on Saturday as temperatures cool off a little bit.
All right, Kelly, sounds good. Thank you. Coming up in the morning sprint, a police chase ended up on the belt line, what the driver was wanted for.
And we want to say happy birthday to Aspen, Knoxley, and Craig, all turning 3 today. Thanks for celebrating with us. We'll be right back.
Sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
At Pick and Save, we want our fresh produce to meet your expectations, which is why we do up to a 27-point inspection to check for things like color and scarring. Because when it comes to fresh, higher standards mean fresher produce. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
A man brutally attacked and sexually assaulted a woman. The victim spent endless nights unable to sleep, plagued by nightmares. Judge Janet Protasewicz called the offender many females' worst nightmare, but she cut his sentence to only 2.5 years in prison. Judge Janet It's dangerous judgment puts our families at risk. That's why sheriffs throughout Wisconsin support Dan Kelly. He's the only candidate we can trust to keep violent felons off our streets. On April 4th, vote Justice Dan Kelly. Fair Courts America is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Update your home with Menard's huge selection of flooring. Lutex Mills provides soft and luxurious carpet that's backed by a lifetime stain and fade warranty. Intuitive plush carpet is now 79 cents per square foot after rebate. Enhancing the beauty of your home is easy with Mohawk flooring. Laminate flooring is durable and easy to install, making it the perfect choice for active lifestyles. Splash Armor laminate flooring is $169 per square foot after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Where should we put all your luggage, Ms. Hilton?
In the connecting room, please. Book confirmed connecting rooms for an extra large closet. Or, you know, for your family.
When you need a connecting room for whatever reason, it matters where you stay. Hilton for the stay.
Strawberries, blueberries, and the cherry on top. Fairlife, with 50% more protein, 50% less sugar, and the creamy taste, turns scrumptious into scrumptious. Fairlife, ultra-filtered milk.
It's easier to manage my chemo side effects since the Grace Supportive Care came to see me. They're taking the time to listen and talk about options for feeling better.
A Grace, caring every step of the way.
This is how legends are made.
Chevy Silverado and new Silverado HD. Choose your own path with the #1 best-selling retail full-size pickup and see where it takes you. Find new roads. It's Chevy truck season. Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all Silverado 1500 pickups. And current Chevy owners get $2,500 cash allowance on this Silverado with a turbo high output engine. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
You already know Dan Kelly worked for a radical anti-abortion group, and on the court could uphold Wisconsin's 1849 abortion ban with no exceptions for rape or incest. Here's what you didn't know. Kelly opposed background checks on all gun sales and even wrote the court decision making it easier for dangerous people to carry guns in public, banning abortion, putting our communities at risk. Dan Kelly is too extreme for our Supreme Court.
The local water experts at Culligan can take care of everything but the kitchen sink. Actually, we do that too. Culligan, here for every water worry.
When your door is always open, so is the fridge. At Pick and Save, however you shop, in-store, pickup, or delivery, you get the same great prices, deals, and rewards. That's a win-win-win. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
March into deer season at Sloan Implement.
6:51, time for the morning sprint.
We start with a man who led Monona police on a chase before crashing on the Beltline. Officers report trying to stop the 26-year-old Madison man on West Broadway as part of a drug investigation. That man led police on a chase before losing control of his car when trying to use the exit ramp at John Nolan Drive and the Beltline. After crashing, the man tried to climb over a chain-link fence, but was stopped and arrested.
Family in Oregon still looking for answers after a woman burst into their home Thursday looking for help. That woman was walking on the Oregon Rotary Bike Trail when police say she was tackled and sexually assaulted by a stranger. Police say the woman was able to get away from her attacker and that the man fled into a nearby parking lot and likely got away in a car. The family is happy to have helped, but wish they could have done more.
A woman accused of killing and dismembering a Green Bay man and attacking her lawyer in court has been ruled competent to stand trial. Taylor Shaw Business was charged last year and ruled competent to stand trial then, and the same doctor who originally surveyed her said their opinion has not changed. The trial date is set for July 24th.
News 3 now, SSM Health kicking off a new year of our Time for Kids segment, and we want to celebrate with a new contest that opens up today. That's all about Earth Day. Just go to channel3000.com/timeforkids and tell us all about your school's Earth Day efforts. You have until April 17th. When it's all over, we'll pick a winner and come out to your school and plant a tree.
Bikers in La Crosse signed up to bike in person or virtually to raise money for cancer research. The event was organized at the local YMCA, and the grand total raised over $20,000. The program, called Pedal for a Purpose, is set up to support the groups Live Strong and Youth Strong. Donations are still being accepted on the La Crosse YMCA website.
The white powder in an envelope sent to the Manhattan District Attorney's Office has been deemed safe by the NYPD. That envelope was sent with the powder and threats following former President Donald Trump's warning of death and destruction if he were to be arrested. GOP lawmakers are calling for this case to be handled by the Department of Justice instead of a state level.
At least 26 people are dead following a deadly string of tornadoes that ravaged Mississippi and other southern states. The damage trail from the thunderstorm itself spans over 150 miles. Several towns were completely flattened, leading to the destruction of over 2,000 buildings. The sizes of those tornadoes between F3 and F5, with the F5 tornado damage path spanning a near record of 30 miles.
Russian President Vladimir Putin says his country will station tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus. It marks the first time since the mid-1990s that Moscow will have based such arms outside the country. Putin made the announcement at a time of growing tensions with the West over the Ukraine attack, while some Russian commentators speculate about possible nuclear strikes.
In New York, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says there is a new drug hitting the streets. Xylazine is a deadly flesh-eating drug that makes fentanyl deadlier and does not respond to Narcan. The new drug is used by vets as an anesthetic, but produces a stronger high if mixed with fentanyl or other drugs. Senator Schumer said xylazine can rot bone and in some cases require amputations.
Pope Francis has updated a 2019 church law aimed at holding senior churchmen accountable for covering up cases of sex abuse. The law now covers lay Catholic leaders and reaffirms that vulnerable adults can also be victims of abuse when they're unable to consent. Church personnel are now required to report allegations of clergy abuse in-house, but it does not mandate reporting to police.
And take a look at this. We may have been able to see the Northern Lights last week, but it pales in comparison to what you see here in Alaska. This is what Chris was talking about a little bit earlier. This was a part of the larger than normal viewing area for the lights last Thursday. Some stunning images there.
Trippy.
All right, Kelly, what do you got?
Well, nothing like that, that's for sure. We do have some cold weather this morning. Temperatures starting out in the 20s, 23 in Madison, 26 in Watertown. Janesville sitting at 25, so definitely bundle up this morning. We will look at sunshine throughout the morning hours. A few clouds roll in during the afternoon as we climb in the low to mid 40s. So it is a chilly day. Even with that sunshine, we're warming into the low to mid 40s this afternoon. And our extended forecast, the first warm forecast, 46 tomorrow. A couple of quiet days. We do have a weak system that'll bring in a little bit of light snow on Wednesday morning. Another system brings us mainly rain, maybe even some spring-like thunderstorms as we close out the month of March.
A messy March.
It has been.
I'm ready for it to be over.
Me too. All right, thanks for joining us, folks.
We'll see you in 30 minutes.